Hello everyone. I'm wearing my big ass t-shirt today. So you know what that means? I haven't done laundry this week. Uh, but mainly that means in this channel area, story time. Fucking air conditioner. Okay, I'm itchy. I got this itchy rash thing going on. I don't understand it. You form a COVID or something. You know, I got this silly story I've been wanting to tell people. See if it's worth the fuck. I mean, it was cool when it happened. It's a story about how I was saved by a chipmunk. You know, maybe that's where Chip and Dale came from, is because chipmunks are the shit. Anyways, a story about how I was saved by a chipmunk on a road called Wisdom. And this is no joke. You can look up that fucking road. It's in Montana. It's right next to Idaho. And your mom. Kidding. But I shouldn't be doing other things while Anyway, the story, crazy as hell. I'm not at work today because fucking I quit because being paid like less than $10 an hour to do landscaping is a pain in the fucking ass now. I'm not illegal. I got my paperwork. You know, I'm a decent fucking worker. So I shouldn't be getting paid that little. But that's my excuse on why I'm not working today. This story starts on a bad day. Probably like a Friday or something. Around summertime, actually around this month, March or May, one of the two. It was cold as a motherfucker that night. That's all I could say. Get to that in here, man. I am itchy. I got this funky rash thing. I really don't know what the fuck it is. I think it's from a cat. She scratches me. He scratches me. Whatever the fuck his gender thing is. His balls. I keep calling it she because I got more girl animals than I do boy animals. So it's just like this thing. Anyway. I stole this car. Okay. Keys were in the ignition, so I was like, what would Jesus do? Oh, I fucking took the thing. I was like, I'm going on an adventure. Find me in Jerusalem. However that story goes. And what happened was I put gas in it. Put like $60 in that motherfucker. Got some directions from the lovely lady at the gas station. Decided I'm gonna get after it. So I did. As I was doing so, getting after it, you know, just hanging in there, doing my thing, talking to myself about how I'm gonna be like, hey, oh yeah, and this was all because of a girl too. Like, yeah, the boners were strong in that time. Uh, anyway, it was like, go meet this stupid girl, pick her up, take her back. Everything will be sunshine and rainbows. Nobody will. Is there cornbread? Sure. Nobody will be upset, which was totally a lie. So, fast forward, the car breaks down. Not only does the car break down, it breaks down going uphill. So, I naturally put it in reverse and then park on the opposite side of the road. Don't know why. Okay. I didn't have a phone, but this lovely couple came They were like, hey, what's up? And I was like, well, I'm headed over here to Butte. Can you give me a ride? It's towards Calcahoe. Or it's towards the Flathead Reservation. Something like that. Anyway, these assholes had no idea of direction. So that was cool. No sense of direction whatsoever. So, what I do is utilize their phone to call a tow truck company. I call the tow truck company. They said they'll be 30 minutes. I tell them I'll sit right there nice and calmly and all that jazzy stuff, not informing them that I stole the car or anything, because that would be illegal. But, so what do I do next? Oh, and by the way, I'm in a t-shirt, like a white one, but not even near as thick as this fabric right here. And this is my big ass t-shirt. And some gym shorts, just regular jimmies. Hey man, that's my diary. You can't be tearing up my fucking diary even though it's tore up to shit anyway. God damn. I gotta staple this motherfucker. Anyway. I'll do some morning reflection. I forgot to do that. I'm fidgety because I haven't smoked any weed. I got a small addiction to marijuana because other drugs are bad, and kicking one drug as hard as enough. Giving yourself a whole new drug to try to kick is even worse. Anyway, so I steal this car, call the tow truck company. I get to walking. I'm in bare feet, by the way. I got a yellow bandana right across my forehead. Just a yellow, bright yellow, pale yellow. It's been in the sun for a long time. Barefooted, shorts, white Hanes t-shirt. Pretty basic shit. It's around 8 or 9 at that point because the sun's going down pretty good. And so I walk onto Wisdom Road. Not even sure how long or far it is, or how long or far I'll be getting barefoot, or when somebody, if anybody, will pick me up. And these thoughts really weren't ringing too loud in my head, but they're in the back of my mind, like, hey, your feet are already sore and you haven't even moved a whole mile. It's like, by the way, you're in Montana. Like, you're probably gonna cross paths with something that's going to possibly slap the shit out of you and take half your face off. Who knows? Anyway, so the stars start coming up. Beautiful stars, lovely. Start mesmerizing me and stuff, but then the wind chill starts coming in pretty hard too. So naturally, being the survivalist I am, I crawl into a bush. Because a wolf can't get through a bush, and a bear probably won't fucking step on me, nor would a moose, hopefully. So anyway, that's what I did, and I start, well, of course, the temperature drops even faster and faster. And I didn't know this, but apparently, don't quote me on this, I'm not sure exactly, it's been a while. If your body drops like 10 degrees Fahrenheit within like a certain period of time, like too fast or something, or maybe it's Celsius. Either way, go too fast, drop temperature, no way to stay warm, you'll probably die of hypothermia, or get hypothermia. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got the hypothermia. It was absolutely awful. Like, even to this day, I can't go out into the cold. And then, like, I don't know, I just can't go out into the cold like I used to, you know? Like, lesser jackets and things, because it just, I get into this, like, crazy convulsion where it's, like, more than just shivering. I'm, like, freaking the fuck out or something. Anyway, so I'm like this. I forgot to mention, I have this really thin, like, throw over, you know what I mean? You throw it over a fucking couch blanket thing. So I put my shit like this. You know what I mean? When you're a kid, you do this. I did that. And I stuffed this little blanket into my shirt because it wasn't working. Remember, no shoes, no socks, just shorts and a t-shirt, and this funky little blanket and a bandana. No lighters, no fires, nothing. Stupid as all hell. So as I'm in this weird, whatchamacallit, fetal position type thing, a gust of wind blows and just hits me. It was like the last time, because at that point, my feet were in massive amounts of pain. My shivering pretty much stopped. I don't think I could shiver. Or if I was shivering, it wasn't the same. My body just, it was the most awful feeling in my whole life. My hands were in massive pain. I couldn't feel them, but I could feel pain. I couldn't feel my body. Just hellish kind of cold that I've never experienced before. So this gust of wind hits me, and when it hits me, I just fucking topple over. I said, oh, fuck it. And I was like, literally, I was just like, fuck that. And it was terrible, man. It was so fucking crazy. Because at that point in time, I said, fuck, I give up. Like, I'm done. You know what I mean? I had given up completely. I could not move. I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel my arms. I couldn't feel anything. I could feel some sort of pain, but even that was like numb at a certain level. You know, it was like it's there, but it's not there at all. It was like it was outer body experience, honestly. But here's the fun part: as I start falling asleep, because you do fall asleep. Very nice rest. My eyes closed. Well, I think my eyes were already closed, but it was like my brain was finally getting into that place where you can just like, man, this is good type of sleep, you know? And I said, all right, I'll wake up in the morning time. When I get up, I'll be up, and I can go on with my journey, and I can keep my word, and everything will be all right. In that moment, I realized maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, I was probably gonna die. And nobody would have known. No one would have found me or anything. So, anyway, as I'm falling asleep, this little rodent. The only way to describe it, because it's the funniest thing. It was like I don't know if there was any other type of rats or small critters, varmin, whatever the fuck people call them. If there was any other type of thing there, because this tiny little fucking thing crawls on top of my head, right here, because I'm this way. I remember it fucking distinctly. Crawls right here, wakes me up, just boom, up, upset. Like, got my blood pumping, because it was like, dude, how could you fucking wake me up right now, man? Jesus. But, you know what I mean? Like, when you're at that point of sleep where it's like, dude, I need this. It's like, and you get woken up. It's like, thanks a lot. Anyway, so this chipmunk, because it was the only thing I can imagine actually surviving that kind of weather and being a rodent and that tiny and without any intention of chewing into my skull. But all it did was crawl on my head and ran away, because I was like, oh my god, it's a chipmunk. And I picked up my shirt so I can run this way. Not gonna happen. Ran away. I said, dude, fuck you. Fall back to sleep. Go back into my sleepy place. Fucker comes back again. This time, I said, you know what? Maybe, if he gets close enough, I'll catch him. So, I start to focus on possibly catching this chipmunk. So this is my thing. I'm like, I want to catch this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Not happening. It runs away every time I twitch or move or anything. But he wakes me up. And then I fall asleep again. And it crawls on my head. I know it's on my head, but I can care less. Crawls on my neck. I can care less. crawls on my side, like where my ribs are, it's a different feeling. It wakes me up a little more. It's like, come on, dude, it's cold out here. Open up my shirt, try to keep it open for as long as possible. A gust of wind blows in, causes a massive fucking like convulsion. I lock up, I'm closed again, I sleep. I start falling asleep. And it crawls all over my body, and then it sits right here on my side of my ribs while I'm still like in a clench on the side type of shit thing. It's on my side. It's on like right underneath like the bottom ribs, right on my tummy kind of. He's just there, and I can feel him really sensitively. And that whole time, it was like I could move a little bit, he'd run away, and he'd start the process again. And we did that all night long until the moment I saw like the sun touching the dew almost. Like the grass was frozen over and crunchy. And it was just a miracle I survived, honestly. The second part of the story is pretty funny, but I don't want to continue on right now because 16 minutes and 29 seconds is pretty hardcore for most people, because most people nowadays don't have the attention span of a goldfish. Not saying that about you, my 6 subscribers. Thank you for being there. Well, but you know, I don't want to risk it. I even have a short attention span too, and I'm not a good storyteller, I don't think. But that's just part of the story of how I was saved by a chipmunk. The rest of the story is just as fucking weird. Come in for part 2. Who knows? I don't.